I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back kicking it stateside for another Tuesday edition of our wonderful show. We got a lot to talk about, my friend Brian. What do you think about, before we kick it off, what do you think about today's match here? I know it's we're about an hour away. So if you're living under a rock, we got Italy versus Spain coming up at 3 o'clock. Obviously, that goes with our poll question as well. With the big win over, the golden generation of Belgium, is Italy destined to win this thing? They missed the World Cup last time around. They rebound. They're like, you know what? We are too proud of a nation. We should not be missing World Cups. And now they're in the semifinals of the Euro Championships. So, Brian, what do you say, sir?
Well, I'm kind of on the side of England still. I think I don't know. It's hard to deny Italy right now. If you look at the stats, you look at the numbers, what they've done in this tournament as far as goal scoring, what they've done in this tournament as far as not allowing goals, just their total performance as a whole. It's hard to deny that they're not. I mean, it seems like they've already played a final when in that game against Belgium. A lot of people thought that should have been a final type of game. Now they're going to have to play another one of those games against Spain. I think if they find a way through this one, they don't get decimated with kind of any injuries, suspensions going into the next game, or things along those lines. I'd have to say they've now taken that favorite reign away. Going forward, but
it's Italy's had a great little run. Their defense has been great. We know about, if everybody out there who's watching follows, domestic football, they know that Donnarumma, the Italian goalkeeper, has been on everybody's radar since he was like 16 years old, being like, this is the next best goalie in the world. He's going to be better than Buffon, all this. And he's kind of lived up to the hype so far. I think he's only 20 now. He's still a young kid, but he's definitely proving himself out there on the world stage. Their front, Insigne, he's a 30-year-old guy. He was a reserves, in the World Cup. The last time around, he's been with the team, but never really played that critical role before. And now you're shown, he's seems like he's stepping up and performing like a veteran should out there now at 30 years old when, he was supposed to be, the golden generation of this Italian squad. Obviously, Ciro does his thing. He hasn't played. He played okay. But obviously Chiesa, we've seen step up big time. Barella had a great goal the other day. So it's a pretty good team effort. They get Chiellini back. Bonucci's been there forever. So it's a really good mix of, I think, young and vet guys out there that, you have enough leadership. You're bound to win something in this world stage eventually.
It's good that you said the word leadership because it's kind of funny to me that you left your boy off that list, the Chelsea man, Jorginho, because he's been a leader of this team. You could tell, if there wasn't a Chiellini there, to be 36-year-old center back to be the captain of that team, Jorginho wears that band, and you've seen it with Chelsea. They played well when he took that band for the team last year.
He was great for Chelsea, I thought. The
guy definitely knows how to help lead that team, and they're kind of becoming the complete package again, which is kind of it is crazy to think about because of them missing World Cup like we did, and we talked about that how it was so devastating for the U.S. to miss a World Cup because we really needed to bring the fans aboard. And anytime we get a big national stage, it really helps grow our game in this country. Like, that game's grown in that country. Like, they've won World Cups. They've won Euros. It's one of the greatest countries for this game, I always say, as much as I root against them in general on the world stage. It's always better with Italy doing their thing. And this team is no joke. I mean, they've combined the veteran defense with some scoring, and they're doing their thing, and they're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out for Spain today. Again, that game's going to come right when we get off the air today, guys. So kick it with us till 3 o'clock, and then immediately you can flip right over to that, like we will be doing, and seeing who's advancing to the final to take on the winner of England and Denmark, which will be tomorrow. So when we're back with you again on Thursday this week, we'll have our final set. And so there's a lot to look at. We're going to talk to you today, too, about Copa America. They're also in their final four, well, final three now because one of those games is done. But basically they were in their final four when we laid out the criteria. So what else? You wanted to talk about a little MLS?
Yeah, we're kind of rolling along with the MLS season here. Surprise, July 4th. Again, happy holidays to everybody out there, and
Yes.
Thank you for everybody. I hope everyone had a safe, good 4th of July weekend. But yeah, I mean, it's as the MLS season rolls along, you're starting to see some of these stadiums be, full capacity now that we're, now that's going to change it up, which is, again, thank God. But yeah, it's so far so good. There's been some surprises, some not really much surprise with Seattle being on top of the West. That's probably no surprise.
Yeah. Is it ever?
A few teams that are really struggling, i.e. Toronto, firing their manager after getting crushed. Other than that, it's been a good start. We'll kind of get into that as well. What else do we got? Obviously, transfer season just started up. We got the European window open. We got, obviously, this time of the year, there's going to be people talking. I saw your boy Guendouzi got moved on loan.
No loan. We'll talk about him and actually the moves that team who brought him in is making, because I started to go down the list of, I think the last time we let off was July 1st. So there's been moves since then, obviously, throughout the weekend. There was a few interesting ones, a few names that people know. But the team that he is headed to, and I won't mention it quite yet, I guess, they're making some moves. And it's going to be intriguing. They're going to be a team to watch in their league this year. I'm going to throw that out there to people that are trying to grow and watch more teams. They might be an interesting team to watch in their league this year. As that league has shown, there's a little bit of parity now.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. Your boy Billy Gilmore's on the move. He went.
Yeah, Billy's joined the Canaries on their first season back after missing the last season. That's a nice little pickup. I think this is a big opportunity for him to get a lot of minutes.
That's a lot of playing time potential. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's good
He'll
for
get
him.
it. He showed it so far. He's another one of those people that's like, he had a good Euro for Scotland, and all of a sudden, people are going to start being, the buzz is going to start. But if you're a Chelsea fan, you kind of know the potential from Billy. You've sort of seen glimpses of it.
Lord Walker. Welcome again, everybody. Good morning. Or afternoon, I should say. I'm so used to doing morning shows on Saturdays now. Still adjusting to this, but welcome. This is our new schedule. It does seem to be working out every Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on A2D Radio. Again, Kicking at Stateside, brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, Dr. Paul Vidal. You can visit him in his office now, which is great. in Burlington and Cherry Hill, or obviously go online, book your appointment. I'm sure if you're still concerned, you can do telehealth, whatever you need to do to get yourself looked at, but don't deal with the aches and pains, or if you just got done some minor surgery or something like that and need some rehab, that's your guy.
Hell yeah.
So again, back to Lord Walker. He was the lone one to pick Belgium. Yeah, I mean, they were the favorites as of last week, and they're no longer the favorites. And now I think the Italians have to be the favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can make a debate whether, I think it's pretty much – I mean, England has a tough matchup with the Danes. Like, that's not –
They do. This Denmark team, yeah.
It's not going to be a cakewalk for them. And a lot of people are already saying, well, looks like it's going to be Italy and England. And I'm saying, I don't know.
Hey, don't
sleep on the Danes. They've played them recently. And England-Denmark played, I think, a few months ago, or whenever the last time they played. I think it was 0-0 through the whole thing. So I would expect it to be pretty close.
Denmark actually has a Euros championship, so they've been there before.
Yeah, it's who knows? Can it come home? Maybe, I don't know, maybe. But I think a lot of people are penciling in England already winning this thing, and you still got to match.
Got to slow their roll a little bit, but
against the dark horse and the Danes, who have a lot, just so much momentum going for. You saw my boy Thomas Delaney get a great wide open header the other day. Man of the match. So congrats to him. I like him. He's a solid footballer. Puts his head down, just grinds the midfield. Doesn't do anything fancy, but gets the job done. So, and Casper Dolberg, finally, the youngster that was supposed to be this prodigy, who's been bounced around. He started at Ajax and kind of went even as low. Even went back to, I think, Copenhagen. For club team, because he just couldn't crack he just wasn't in form. And then all of a sudden now he seems to have found the back of the net and is scoring touch. But that being said, England has, did come off a huge victory over the Ukraine, which poor Ukraine just did not have enough to keep up with that juggernaut that is.
They hung in there for a while, but just wasn't their run was done. They kind of we talked about it. I think with the drama of the previous games, at some point, it's like, how many times can you keep doing that? It's not an easy thing. Like, you get away with it once and maybe twice, you have these big, massive upsets and you put everything out there and leave it all on the field. But at some point, usually it's going to run out, especially when you're going against such talented sides as teams like England and stuff like that. So, right. And yes, Dan, you were right. Welcome to you. Welcome to Jake. Welcome to, I think we saw a couple others here. I forgot to mention earlier. We know Tommy's here. Pete, Phantom 67, Ritter. There are Champions League qualifying going on right now. We can touch on that super briefly. I actually made note to myself of one game I just wanted to talk about so people could really understand the depth that you and I always say and how deep this game really goes all over the world, and some of these teams and where they've come from and how long they've been around competing just to get a sniff of Champions League. So
it's beautiful to get the lower leagues winners and runners up try and get into the Champions League.
Yeah, so I picked one game in particular, so I could talk on that in a little bit too, just super briefly. Frank, Eddie, what's up? Frank's going Italy. That's a given. There's a good group of guys in A2D that I'm sure, if they're not going USA, would be going Italy. Those strong Italian, South Jersey, Philly roots there. So we welcome you, gentlemen. Tommy, we keep clamoring for Tommy, man. Italy keeps going. That gives him a chance to watch and something to root for. I hope he watches today. I'm going to message him to make sure he tries to watch today if he's around.
It's something to get into. It's a good warm-up for the World Cup next summer. So
The international game is a great way to kind of grow because the international game gets super chippy usually. You got guys that maybe don't speak the same language at all playing against each other, fighting on the field, not even understanding what they're saying other than maybe a few hand gestures or something along those lines. So it can get fun. It can definitely get fun.
Oh, it's the best. That's why this is a great tune-up for next year where you're bringing just the World Cup in and even more's on the line. So,
yeah. Oh, yes, I'm with you, Lord Walker. Let's go, Colombia.
Colombia.
As aforementioned, we do have the Copa America going on as well, and we were in the Final Four. It is down to 3 right now. Brazil moved on with a kind of a tight 1-0 win against Peru. None of the big time guys stepped up for Brazil in this one, but they found a way to get by. And they're advancing to the final. And as Lord Walker said there, Argentina will play Colombia to this evening, I believe, to head on to see who's going to play in the final. I don't know if it's that big. I mean, we talk about it all the time. If Argentina fails to move on again, this is just another thing with Messi and not getting his team up on the world stage. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do.
We'll see if
he quits on his team again after they lose to Colombia and James Rodriguez. Because it'll be, the third time he's quit on the Argentina national team. And I think one of those was after an early exit in a Copa America. So.
Well, this is his time.
Yeah.
Nut up or shut up for Messi.
Right.
On the international stage.
David,
Greg, disagree with the poll. A lot of good teams are still out there. Absolutely. We were just talking about it. Again, that other semifinal match is just people got England penciled into that last spot, but I'm telling you that the Danes are going to put up a fight. They got that momentum riding still, and I think they got something to prove. David says, my country, Romania, is not in. Yeah, Romania hasn't been exactly the powerhouse soccer nation. It's tough. Tough to come out of that.
There's only so many spots, man, and
right.
You see countries like Ireland too, which are generally good teams, and they haven't been even in a huge tournament in 20-some years, probably it seems like. So
it's tough.
Eddie said, "Do you think it's coming for England since they play their semifinal at Wembley, or only a dream for an England fan?" Well, the way things have gone for, I was gonna say the way things have gone for some of these England teams in the past, it's like a setup for an even bigger letdown to lose this game at home to an underdog Denmark team.
Oh, that'd be brutal.
Oh man,
riots, riot in the streets. But I don't know. There's a lot of people that are like, I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be a good story if England would win it, but like I don't really have like a rooting interest in England winning it. If they do it, great. That's great. But
Dan said anybody but Italy. Zachary said anybody but England. So I mean, everybody's torn here.
There's a lot of parity out there. I like the different. I don't know. I would say the Danes would be my team in it, but I do like the Italians, the way they're playing. And again, I could care less if England wins. If they lose tomorrow, that's great. I think it's just it'd be hilarious to see all the English just crying over how they haven't won anything.
I mean, I do like to see, if it's not one of the teams I generally root for, I do like to see people's misery when it comes to sports sometimes. That's why I love being around here and around all these Philly sports, because it's pretty easy to find that when it's not one of your teams. It sucks for me during baseball season, but in general, I enjoy everybody else's
all the time
misery.
Now.
Lord Walker, to your alternate, what up, B Willie? To your alternate poll, I mean, I don't even. I like the idea, but is that even debatable? I mean,
Euros.
Yeah, you got Neymar or Messi. You got Neymar, Messi, Rui Diaz, Keylor Navas, and James. That's your lineup for
honest, like serious question. Like, who is actually though like really paying attention to like the Copa America though?
I know I'm trying to keep it relevant. That's the only reason I put it in the service criteria.
Like, especially
it had
with
a
the
really
Euros going on right now. It's so hard. Like nobody, it's a tough time for the Copa Americas because they're going to get overshadowed. But I think the Euros, that's where all the young talent seems to be. I mean, like we're seeing, I just saw, kind of sidebar talking about like silly season. Lorenzo Insigne scores 1 goal for Italy, and now he's apparently on the phone with Barcelona and Tottenham. So it's funny how you could play very well in the Euros for a couple games, and all of a sudden you're getting calls left and right.
Yeah. And actually, I could argue, even though they're not going on right now, I would watch the Africa Cup of Nations over Copa America any day. There's more talent in that tournament and more interest, I think, personally, at this point in the game. I would say Euros number 1, then them, and then probably Copa America. I mean, for us, we have.
If you're not South American, like have some background. If you're like Brazilian or if you're Argentinian, you probably do care about like that tournament. But again, if you don't have any South American heritage, I don't know if, especially this summer when both are playing at literally the same time.
Yeah. So talent, clearly, it's Euros and.
Just all the eyes I think to be on the Euros. I don't know. I think we know who Brazil has with your, Richarlisons and Gabby Jesuses, and we know those guys pretty well. We know what they bring. Some of the Euros guys, you don't see them all the time, so it's fun to find these like diamonds in the rough guys. Again, people might not know Insigne or Chiesa or some of these other if you're not watching the Italian league. So Eddie says if Denmark wins, it'll be a fairy tale win. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, how sick would that be, though, honestly, if Denmark wins the whole thing?
Sorry, I lost. I dropped out for a second. I had lost audio.
No.
I see what on Eddie's.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ESPN and ABC would love if that was the case.
Did Zachary? Can I remind you of the last few times Brazil has faced big European competition in large tournaments? Do we need to pull that up, or can we just like bypass that with that comment? You remember 7-0 to Germany?
I don't know. I feel like
they can't play physical enough.
I feel like you give a lot of props to the Copa, that South American countries. I don't know. I feel like Brazil. Who's the next best team? Argentina?
Yeah, Uruguay. I would put Uruguay, honestly, generally over even.
At least
Argentina.
Uruguay's been has performed on like.
Yeah, they went with they didn't put much into this tournament. It seemed like, to be honest, I feel like they value like World Cup and stuff so much more too. I didn't look at the Uruguay squad, but I have a feeling that the way they went out, I doubt there was much stardom going there. I could be wrong, but. Take the Final Four.
I have to disagree. Respectfully disagree.
Take the Final Four of both tournaments. I'd say the better teams are. What?
I think England waxes Colombia.
What?
I think England waxes Colombia.
Are we really? Are we really having this conversation?
I think Brazil can be
Peru. Hold on.
Get after them.
Peru, because that was the Final Four. Peru is anywhere near any of those 4 teams left right now. What? Argentina is competing with Italy or Spain right now? What? You're like Brazil. Brazil's the only one. Brazil is the only one. And again,
right. I think Brazil can compete with every team probably.
Yeah, and then put Brazil up against that Denmark defense right now, and let Neymar take one little hip check and roll all over the floor and complain. And let's see how that Brazilian team really steps up again against a team that's going to come out there and play you tough and physical. Unless they're home against, with South American soft referees. Let's rein that in a little bit, because we're getting a little nutty here. I don't want to send the wrong message to the soccer community and such a valued mind like Lord Walker to come. I must be the earliness of the show. It's very early morning still over in or early. It's not even afternoon yet out there. He might have had a long night last night.
A little fuzzy from the holiday. What's up, Evan? So Evan says it's coming home.
When did Brazil get their revenge on Germany? Can you remind me of that? What gold medal game?
I have no idea. The Olympics? I don't know.
Yeah, because that's even somewhat of a close level of tournament to.
Call me when Messi actually does something on the big stage.
Yeah, yeah, or Neymar. Speaking of Olympics, we'll give our brief shout out to the ladies' side as we need to do often. We get in trouble for not doing so. So, women in their final tune-up before Tokyo go out and just dominate Mexico in the first half, and then pretty much sit on.
Beautiful team goal they had.
Yeah, it's not even fair. It's not. I would love to see.
I really think they could beat the men's team. I mean,
it's so hard. I know it's the physicality is the only debate. The physicality is the only debate. Off pure skill and talent, I think possibly. I don't know, man. I mean, I know we were coming a long way, and I don't want to belittle our top men's guys any or make it sound bad the other way, but they give them a run. Put it that way. If the ref didn't allow it to get too physical, they definitely give them a run.
Skill wise, I like our women's team as a chance.
And Rapinoe might be tougher than half the men's team anyway, so who knows?
Yeah, like a World Super Cup.
Yeah, it's called the World Cup next year. Like, we already have it. We kind of do. I mean, it would be cool, but these guys play so many games already. Like, we can't just keep adding things to them. You have your opportunity. You got to qualify for the World Cup, and then we get everybody.
I like the idea, though.
It is. It's a great idea for
like Brazil versus whoever comes out of the Euros.
The only thing that you worry about is like you would get a game like that, and they would put it in a weird part of the schedule, and you would probably get like a rotated side for both of them, and like
probably
one.
Yeah, because I mean we're getting into preseason for domestic leagues pretty soon here, so if Denmark win, it's going to be a fairy tale win ending for them from Eriksson. Yeah, I mean Denmark's got the momentum going on their side. I said that they're kind of the dark horse in all this. Just riding that wave, man. I'm telling you, England's going to have a toughie. People are penciling it in.
Yeah, they better. Ooh, so Dan wants it now. Okay, so what Champions League game qualifier was I following this morning?
Yeah.
I was following HJK Helsinki versus FK Budnikos.
Oh my.
So let me tell you a little something about each one of these teams, and this is why we love this game. You got FK Budnikos, established in 1925. They are from the country of Montenegro. They are the most capped Montenegro team in the Yugoslav League, which started in 1946, and are currently in the top flight of the Montenegro Premier League at this point in their existence. And they lost today 3-1 to the legendary HJK Helsinki, established in 1907 in Finland. They are one of the most historic sides in all of Finland as far as club soccer goes. They've pretty much remained in the top flight their entire life, as far as in the country of Finland. They play at Sonera Stadium, which is currently known as Bolt Arena, and they won 3-1 today, so they move on and have a chance to play in Champions League.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, this game is amazing. You can literally day or night, because there's games so often played in like China that if you wake up at 2-3 in the morning, there might be a game on live. And if you have enough streaming services, you can pretty much get anything at this point. So
Dan has all that stuff. He always is messaging me about where I can grab streams and those kinds of different leagues of the Israeli leagues, and Dan's on that stuff.
Yes, and he's right. I'm sorry. I kind of misled it. It is first leg, so they haven't moved on yet. But with a 3-1 game, maybe that, and no away goals anymore, I don't believe.
I heard it.
It's completely gone, so that one goal really doesn't matter at all at this point, other than in aggregate. So I would expect Helsinki to move on.
Evan says, if everyone was healthy, who would you have winning Euros?
Like from the beginning? Or like right? I mean, I don't know. I don't think Denmark's missing Eriksen. Like, it sounds crazy to say that because he's probably the most noted captain, everything of that team. But I feel like removing him is what sparked this run. They might not be here if that never happened to Christian Eriksen and they didn't lose Christian Eriksen. But if you go from the beginning, I mean, you still would probably put Belgium in there, and you'd probably have to put the Dutch in there because you would be adding the best defender in the world. So when you're adding the best defender in the world to any team, it automatically increases their chances.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, France was healthy, so they just kind of choked.
Yeah.
Straight
up, they just straight up choked.
I wouldn't change that. I mean, I think France was my pick from the jump as far as the favorite as the tournament was starting, being that they were the world champions and they had such a powerful team. But
yeah, I mean, Mbappe kind of went a little was a little quiet this tournament. So
quiet, and the only time he wasn't quiet was when he missed his PK and had to walk off the field alone because his teammates left him hanging.
Yeah,
didn't even put an arm around the guy.
I mean, everybody says the Netherlands is better with Van Dijk, but they still missed the World Cup the last time around.
They did as well. Yes, they did.
So
they were another one that
they have Stefan de Vrij, and Delight is always a decent guy back there. But again, it's just I don't know. All I'm excited about is I heard Dortmund is interested in Daniel Malen, the young Dutch kid. So if they can grab him as a replacement for Sancho, I'm all about it.
Speaking of that, we can now talk, I guess, if you want, about some of these other little moves that have happened so far. Nothing too crazy. My team to watch, what I was saying before, is this Marseille team. in France. They finished 5th this year. And if you look at the top 4 in France, it was very, very tight. Obviously, PSG is always going to be the odds-on favorite because they're the big money guys. But they made some really under-the-radar moves in the last 3 days that I think should be noted going forward here. We talked about last week on Thursday them moving on Conrad de la Fuente and bringing him in from Barca. And then since then, they took Leandro Bolladeri from Dortmund.
Yep.
How do you pronounce that? Ballardy?
I think Ballarde.
Ballarde, the young defender from Dortmund, which I was kind of surprised. It's an undisclosed move, so I don't know the details of it yet. I was kind of surprised Dortmund, with the need of defense, to allow a guy. I'm guessing it's a loan. I don't think it's a move. It looks like everything they're doing is pretty much a loan at Marseille right now. They also brought in the Turkish midfielder winger from Roma.
Yep.
He's a pretty solid player. And then Guendouzi, who, again, if Matteo Guendouzi can ever finally just kind of like settle down and let some of that hype of being this wonder kid kind of leave his head and just play his game, the kid's got so much talent and he's super young. So I think they're making some interesting moves, and they could be a team to watch in the French League.
Yeah, I mean, PSG's pretty much staying put. I saw that it looks like Hakimi is going to be inking his pen to paper here for PSG in the next few days, so that's a good pickup for them. That's a
deal. Yep. And Sergio.
Yeah. I mean, if you got the money, you're going to probably be pretty good, especially in that league.
Yeah, they don't have to worry. They're a top 4 team in that league no matter what.
I believe Lord Walker's name is in green is because he has a subscription.
Because, yes, thank you, Dan. That's perfect.
That's a perfect segue, Dan.
We appreciate you bringing that up. Introducing A2D memberships. $9.99 a month. Perks include show appearances, members-only stream shout-outs, and weekly sports picks from the Money Pot podcast, which we will be trying to do some work with him and get some soccer picks in there going in this upcoming Prem season. I don't think we're going to go too crazy with anything else, but I think we can handle Prem. Hopefully Adam doesn't die before that. Wrong piped it. That's what happened. That's what happens when you're trying to pretty much get ready for your 9 to 5 or 4 to whatever Adam works, as well as do our show. So we really appreciate him working with our crazy schedules and squeezing this in and getting it together. So
it's worth it. It's fun to. I mean, we could always talk, soccer anytime, and I wish we had more time, but just actually with life getting back to normal, it seems that. And this summer is almost like basically a redo because we didn't really have a summer last year. So there's a lot of shit going on coming up as well. So
Dan, yes, it's $9.99 American, yes, and a little Walker.
Sorry, Dan.
You know what? We're
Canadian loony.
I'm gonna put it out there, and I haven't done any research on it, and I'm gonna do the research before we meet again Thursday, and we will discuss this. But I bet if you go through the teams in Copa that you're saying I'm disrespecting and the players that play on those teams in Copa, and then we go through the African Cup of Nations and we look at those teams and some of those players and we start plugging and pulling and we see which ones are playing in the Premier League, which we all consider the best league in the world, and which ones are making major impacts in Champions League, which we consider to be a big thing. I bet that those players in the African Cup of Nations have more to say than in Copa. But again, I'm doing this just off the cuff, and I will research it, and I will come with straight statistics.
I mean, it's tough to say that the African Cup of Nations is better than Copa. That's a strong take. But
just preference.
As a Liverpool fan, he should respect the African Cup of Nations because your two boys play there.
Your two best players play there.
More like Monopoly money. You have Monopoly money, Dan.
Well, let's see. We're already. If you go with Liverpool's front three, I'm already up 2-1. So let's go from there. Bobby Blue Eyes and Sade and Mane. So bam. Let's keep going. I'll work on it this week. We'll talk.
Actually, the Gold Cup. Speaking of that, we got some Gold Cup action. We're trying to figure these the groupings out. So
after today, we will have all the groups done. There's 3 games today.
Right on.
And that's it. Yes. And they are. I had them up. I had to take them down a minute. We have French Guiana. Taking on Trinidad. We have Haiti taking on Bermuda.
Yeah.
And then we have
Guatemala.
We do. We have Guatemala taking on Guadalupe.
Oh my God! What a freaking match!
Yes. So I am going to have to root for. Let's see. I'm going to go Bermuda, Guatemala, and I want Trinidad in there because you always want your rivals in your tournament. So
the team we can't beat.
Yeah, we got them. We got them, but it wasn't friendly. It was a friendly.
Hey Dan, we got Canada in our group, I believe.
My man Lord Walker, that's the line right there. Everybody always hates when you own Boardwalk and Park Place. Just don't start building on them. You can't afford it.
Yeah, I saw Nashville, I believe, is getting our Gold Cup match, the first one. Did I see that correct?
Yeah, that's cool.
Or was that the qualifier for the World Cup? They get that first one.
Oh, maybe that's either way. We've talked about that too. Like Nashville's perfect because Nashville is going to give us a home American crowd. Sure, some of the away team supporters will show. Wow, Joey, with a compliment. At least to you. I'm sure I won't get one, but
I love Joey. He always gets the good videos on Facebook and tags us. I appreciate Joey.
He does. He really does. Much appreciated.
And I appreciate Dan. He's just he's a loony Canadian. What can you expect? Hey Dan, I'll actually be in Seattle next week. Too bad you guys don't let us in the border. I would come visit you in Vancouver.
You guys could stand on the borderline and wave.
Hey Dan.
He said, "Nice
try." How's it going?
Yeah, they don't have Monopoly in Canada, Lord Walker. You didn't know? They don't care about us. It's an American game. Yes, sir. And we all know we love Lord Walker too. We just got to get him riled up. We'll have to get if you're free on Thursday, we'll get you to pop on for this little thing after I put my numbers together. And you're welcome to put your numbers together too, so they line up. I'm all for it.
Let's come with the stats. Brian's your stepson. I did not know Brian was Canadian.
Yep.
News to me.
Adopted. I did get in trouble one time for singing "Oh Canada" as Sidney Crosby got his gold medal put around his neck after they beat the U.S. and a few people weren't too happy with me. But
it's a great national anthem. I hear it all the time.
It's a tremendous song, and I gotta love my kids. So.
But yes, when is the U.S. to wrap up that Gold Cup? Our first game is
the 11th.
The 11th, so that's Sunday.
Yeah, we'll have our opponent by Thursday. Obviously, with them playing today, we'll know on the next show who we will be actually playing that game.
Cool.
On the 11th.
Good shit. That's exciting.
Yeah, man.
Again, it's a weird roster, but this pool needs to show up.
There's no
no excuses to not Again, I said it's finals or bust. You cannot come up short. I'm sorry. You can't miss the Olympics, and then you cannot not get into the Gold Cup final. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. The Olympics is still kind of inexcusable, even though I made plenty of excuses for them just to probably make ourselves feel better. But yeah, no, now you have to. I don't care if you got a rotated squad. You gotta do something in this tournament.
Too good of a pool to not perform.
Yeah. You should get pretty much the max points coming out of the group. If you draw one with Canada, well, I probably won't jump off the bridge, but other than that, there's no reason that you shouldn't be getting max points out of your group and winning your group and getting a favorable seed to move on. So only time will tell, my friend. You know that.
I know, and we'll probably be here, next week being like, well,
yeah,
the tough first game against whoever we end up playing that first one.
Yeah, going back to transfers too, I think just really the only notable one in the Prem so far is Junior Firpo coming from Barca over to Leeds. That's a big move for Leeds, and in that left back.
Yeah.
So
and Leeds signing our adopted son Jack Harrison on a permanent transfer from Man City, which is a good move for them.
Yes, and it's a good move. Now we can just totally love him because he no longer has ties to City or NYCFC.
Yankees FC, we do not have ties to.
Yeah, did you see? I saw a story on them. I don't want to dig because I don't know all the details, but like they have all these clubs now. They have clubs in all different parts of the world, and one of their clubs just won something big, some small country club that they own. I don't know if it's in the Indian Super League or somewhere, but I happen to notice that they just keep buying these clubs left and right now. They're pretty much gonna that whatever franchise is sounds like they're trying to own a club in like every freaking league in the world. So I mean, good for them for the sport, but we still hate them. Evil empire. Literally.
Yeah, not a fan, but
yeah.
I mean, the really only other thing it's going to be like, all right, where is Erling Haaland going to end up? Are they going to move him?
Where's Harry Kane
this summer?
I think we're going to have to wait till after Euros because Harry Kane's still playing, or at least till England's removed from the topic. Because I don't think Haaland's going to go. Like, if I'm Haaland's agent, I let Harry Kane set the price first at his age, and then I come in and it's like, all right, well, you're paying him that. I'm 20 years old, and this is what I can do. And so I would guess he moves second.
Makes sense. And now it's going to be the other young kid, this Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes. This young 18-year-old kid now is going to be all over people's radars. I saw, of course, United's like trying to put in a bid for him, and it'll be every big club in the world probably want a piece of that.
Is speaking of United, is De Gea done? Like, because they keep going back and forth now, and I see that they signed, although obviously it's not a big signing. He's going to be the number 2 there, but they just signed Tom Heaton. I guess to back up Dean Henderson would be my thought, and have a young and an old English goalkeeper. Where's De Gea fit into that? Because I feel like it's time to hand the keys. You brought in Dean Henderson for a reason.
Yeah, I think Davey might go back to Spain.
Yeah.
Seems
might
like
be
it.
That time.
He doesn't even get it. He's not even starting for the Spanish team.
I know. It was weird to see that.
I don't know.
But they're performing without him. So, again, he's one of them ones, like when he's good, he's really good, but he just has those stupid moments that will cost you games. He said he's dropping a DM wager on my disrespect to South America. All right, I'll check it. We'll keep it on the low for now.
No disrespect, just
Do I love Rui Diaz? Yes. Is he one of the greatest goal scorers in MLS history? Yes, MLS history. Yep. The numbers will come out. We'll talk.
I don't know. I'm staying out of that one.
Messi's old. Suarez is old.
Yeah. I got nothing for that tournament. I have not been paying attention very much.
Yeah.
It's too much going on. But I don't know. I mean, MLS, I think Kansas City, Seattle on top. I guess Kansas City being in first is, I think, a pretty big shock. I did not expect that.
Yeah, they're doing good things right now.
Obviously, Chicharito's actually showed up this season.
Yeah, how about that?
Vancouver's in last place. That's tough. Tough look for Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
In the East, you got New England surprisingly up top. They have been fantastic this year. Orlando, Nani's looking like he's back at United, turning back the clock, scoring
ever since the bubble.
Beauty goals here. The Union did lose to Nashville over the weekend, but I don't really take that much into. Not that worried about it. And
Nashville's actually playing really well too. That's not a bad game to lose. You know, like
it was about to happen that we were going to lose on the road sometime. So,
I mean, I'm just happy to see my Red Bull in 7 at this point. I'm more than okay with that. They're in the playoff hunt. They're winning a few games here.
The Union play the Red Bull on Thursday night.
They sure do. We could still discuss if you wanted to try to attend that, or we could try to wait till Philly. Might be easier.
Yeah, we'll DM.
Yeah.
Because the Red Bull have some strict policies.
They do,
the stadium.
I'm not really for some of that. So,
That's what I said on the side. I'll
I'd probably just rather go to Chester and wait. We'll wait a little bit. I still want to do it. I really want to look into that Champions League game. Like I told you, I'll throw the Union stuff on for that one, and definitely I'd love to get to that game.
Yeah, that Club America second leg. Yeah. I think that's like on a Wednesday in September or something.
Yeah, we got to hone in on that and try to maybe put that together, because just to see Club America too, like it's cool. They're pretty much a legendary club in South America club football. So
yeah, that'd be pretty sick. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Dave. We got Italy, Spain. They should be walking out here pretty soon, or if not right now.
Yeah, they're pretty much
5 minutes left. Got the anthems coming up, I'm assuming.
Ooh, we got lineups.
Right after this, we'll have Brian give the lineups, and then tune in. I believe it's on ESPN. Italy, Spain. Winner goes to the final at Wembley, which is interesting for England.
Yeah, I mean, they look pretty much like we've been seeing all along. I don't think either team was probably in too much position to make changes the way they've been playing.
Yeah.
Chiellini and Bonucci in the middle, Emerson and Di Lorenzo on your left and right backs, Verratti, Jorginho, Barea, Chiesa, Immobile, and Insigne. So, and obviously Donnarumma in goal. And then you got Olimo, I want to say it's Olazabal, but I know it's not exactly Olazabal, but it looks like the golfer Jose Maria Olazabal playing the striker. Fernan Torres, Koke, Busquets, and Pedri in the middle. Jordi Alba, Eric Garcia, Aymeric Laporte, and Zabaleta playing or Azpilicueta, playing right back. and Simone in goal. So the Aymeric Laporte that, most people might do a double take when you see that name. Yes, he did once play for France. He made that change about a year ago, and he is the starting center back for Spain. So when I first saw that at the beginning of this tournament, I'm like, when did that happen? I had to do a little digging on that one. But
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's kind of like the predecessor to after Sergio Ramos seems to be on his possibly pushing him out the door.
Yeah, I'm surprised Sergio Ramos actually stayed in Europe. I really thought it was going to be time where he might come over here, and we'll give it a year or so with PSG, then come play for Miami, I guess.
Inter Miami's got written all over. You kidding me? That guy walking around South Beach?
Yeah, he'll be like 40 by then, but he doesn't care.
He's living his life.
Yeah.
He's like, I get to live in Miami. You kidding me?
Yeah. He'll get a red card every third game. Not Vancouver's the Oilers of the MLS, always on the rebuild. Listen,
I don't know, man.
You have one job: finish with more points than Cincinnati. That's all that I ask.
That's
Toronto needs to bounce back. Miami again is just this project is not working. All that talent, and they're sitting there with 8 points. They're struggling.
Higuain said he thought he was going to come to the MLS and be able to smoke a cigarette and play on the field and start scoring. Then he started to realize, it's not that easy coming into the MLS. It's pretty physical.
Yeah, well, he should have asked his brother. He looks like he's been sitting there drinking those beers on South Beach.
Again, living it up.
Yeah. Matuidi plays hard for them, but
it's just you could have all these old guys that we know, like name-wise, that are very popular, but
it's not going to work in this league. We talked about that.
We're still sitting 13th in the league.
Yeah, in the East, like
come on, man.
Yeah, they actually have less points than Vancouver does. So yeah, it's.
I mean, Toronto was in shambles, so they had to fire Chris Armas, who was.
Yeah. Toronto has one of the biggest payrolls in the league, and I told you. We said that when they brought in, like, why did you bring in Chris Armas? You had all that talent, you spent all that money, and you brought in Chris Armas?
He's not a good coach.
They need to fix that in this sport. It's the only thing in this sport that needs to go is this, like, nepotism and carousel of coaches. Like, we need some of these like Sunday coaches to just step up and start getting jobs, and somebody
can work your way up.
Like, how much worse could I do? Really? Like, you give me all that talent in Toronto, and you tell me I couldn't give you more than 5 points in 11 games?
That's sad.
It's sad.
That's very sad, especially that roster that they have there is.
Yeah, in the history of that club, like.
Didn't Pozuelo just win like the Golden Boot last year, or MVP, or newcomer of the year, or some shit?
That team has more depth and talent than most rosters in this league, and to have that little bit of performance, that's ridiculous. Give me the job. I'll take it.
You got to work your way up. Look at Jimmy Curtin. He works his way.
Yeah, look at Jesse Marsh.
Jesse Marsh, the American dream.
Red Bull's never been the same since he left.
Salzburg is actually making a lot of moves. They're selling a lot of players. I saw they sold somebody else.
Yeah. They brought in Bernardo though from Brighton.
That's who it was. Some guy went to Brighton. One of their midfielders.
Yeah. Inak Mepu.
Yeah.
He went to Brighton and Bernardo went. Yeah, it was like yeah. They had a 23-year-old midfielder from Zambia. Oh, I wonder where Zambia is at. And now he's in the Prem. Huh. Add one to my statistics.
And our job here is done.
Thank you. Right on time.
Well, this has been a fun show, and Dan has been great with the segues. I appreciate Dan with a very knowledgeable man.
Yes.
He's
Not
my
that Lord
favorite
Walker
Canadian.
isn't, but you know.
Lord Walker is very knowledgeable. I just give him shit all the time. We're gonna go out and visit Lord Walker, and we'll do it up.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, this has been fun. So if you're not tuning in right now, you're missing out. Go to ESPN right now. Switch over. We got Italy taking on Spain. Winner heads to Wembley in the final. So by the time we talk to you on Thursday, we will have a final for you.
Yes, we will.
And we'll figure out if it's coming home or not.
Again, like, subscribe, Kicking It Stateside, A2D Radio. Sign up for the subscription plan now. Again, everything is brought to you by Body Check Wellness.
All campus.
All campus, specialized physical therapy. Our newest and great sponsor in Manscaped.
Yeah.
Summertime, you want to look good for the ladies. Make sure you're handling that. Use your promo code A2D there, just like you would on Body Check. Get your insides good. Get your outsides good. Go out.
Feeling light as a feather down there.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, go enjoy the game, and we will see you in 2 days.
Yeah, man. It's been fun. So, yeah. Enjoy the
All right, brother.
Euro games, and we'll see you for the final.
Yeah, man.
Love you guys.
All right.
Later.
Love you guys. Late.